when P.J. Hartnett excavated Fourknocks, the passage here was full to the right to the top with soil which contained layers of burials. The people who were buried here were adults and, sadly, children. So a short passageway leads into a large oval egg-shaped chamber, which still has the cruciform shape in that there are the side recesses and the end recess and the passage. So it's like an egg overlaid onto a cross shape. And of course, I think that's significant to the story of Fourknocks. So when it was excavated, just slightly off centre, the archaeologist found a large post hole which he maintained might have supported a wooden roof, because the roof on the structure now is a concrete roof to protect the megalithic art from the elements, which it is very effective in doing. But there was no stone roof, and it's unlikely to have been able to support a stone roof such as those at Newgrange and Nouth, the corbelled roofs, because it would have been so massive, and where did all the stones go if there was a roof, you know? So we'll just take a look at some of the megalithic art. This is probably it's certainly one of the best known stones at Fourknocks. And partly because of the absolute pristine nature of the preservation of the art, it's extremely well preserved. Looks like it was picked yesterday. And so this is a lintel stone. So originally this stone was across the gap here above the opening. So from here over to here. The lintel stone on the outside of the entrance, above the entranceway facing outwards, was moved inside at the time of the excavations to help in its conservation or its preservation, and to keep it again from becoming weathered. So this is originally the lintel stone on the outside, and on this surface it has a large sort of loose spiral with other emblems, other symbols, which are difficult to decipher. Then on the opposite side to the stone with all the chevrons on it is this stone here, which has the concentric circles. You can see there on this end of the stone, on the northern end, the megalithic art is very well preserved. And there's a feature here which has been said to resemble an owl, perhaps emblematic of the Cailleach, the guardian maybe, the other world guide perhaps. And as you move down towards this end of the stone, curiously, there's megalithic art here which is much more worn, or much less easy to see. And it leads me to wonder whether at some point in the past that part of this stone was, covered in soil or moss or whatever, turfs, keeping it preserved, and part of it was exposed to the weather. Anyway, you can make the comparison there yourself visually. So then there is a stone here which is said to resemble a face, but megalithic art in Ireland is also said by the experts to be non-representational, so we're supposed to be seeing an eye there, the diamond shape on the upper left, here, and then the curving mouth and the nose in the middle. But I'm not at all sure that that's what it's supposed to be, although I'm open to possibilities which have been explored in some of my work, including Mythical Ireland, New Light on the Ancient Past, my last book. And then something that seems to be typical of cruciform chambered cairns, the recess on the right always seems to be the dominant in terms of size and decoration. The left or eastern recess has no decorated lintel above it. The end recess has this large stone with the diamonds or the lozenges and the chevrons. And then the right hand, or the western recess, has a sort of a similar pattern on the front face of the stone. Diamonds or lozenges and zigzags or chevrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 diamond shapes along the centre of the stone. And then inside the recess there is a small stone which is curious. It may be, I mean, it's not like a basin that you find in the megalithic chambered cairns of Brunabonia, Newgrange Nouth and Douth, but it looks like a little bit of a plinth that may have supported something in the past. And it is larger and deeper than the left-hand recess. And again, the reasons for that are not clear. So Fourknocks is almost certainly a place of burial because of the burials that were found here. And of course the burials in chambered cairns in Ireland are those containing fragmented remains, mostly cremated, but some cremated, uncremated, and small fragments, not burials of full corpses or anything like that. There was an obvious process around the dismemberment and defleshing or excarnation, and then the ritual burning before any of the burials actually took place. So one of the lovely things about Fourknocks is, the modern roof structure is that it has light slits in it which allow the light in to light up the megalithic art. So even if you close the door and you stand initially in darkness, if you allow your eyes adjust for a few minutes, you'll see that the megalithic art generally has light, natural light that is highlighting it, that comes from the light slits above in the roof, which is very nice. This one's being lit by the fact that the door is open. And so an observer situated here, either in the end recess or on the sill stone of the end recess in the Neolithic, would be looking out through the passageway. I'm not sure how successful this will be. Let's hope I can expose it properly. There we go. And looking out towards the hill of Mullatealing in the distance, at the rising place of the star Deneb, which is the bright star of Cygnus, the Swan constellation, and the link, of course, with Newgrange. Sheedenbroga is that Sheedenbroga points to Fourknocks. The winter solstice axis of Newgrange points to Fourknocks, and Fourknocks points in turn to the place where the Swan star rises. And of course the stories of Newgrange, two in particular, Ashlinga Aengus, the dream of Aengus Og, and the story of the birth of Setanta or Cuchulainn both feature swans at Newgrange, which is made all the more interesting by the fact that the whooper swans, which migrate here in the winter time from Iceland, gather every year in significant numbers at Brunabonia. We're very lucky that we have these megalithic structures from 5,000 years ago surviving today.